Hello and welcome to this quick start guide to using Foreign Office Files for the Middle East 1971 to 1981 at the Mardigan Library at the University of Michigan Dearborn. My name is T. Gorblich and I am your social sciences librarian, and if you have any questions at all about this quick start guide and utilizing this particular database, please contact me at my contact information that is now on the screen. So let's go ahead and get into the Foreign Office Files for the Middle East, 1971 to 1981. And in order to access this particular database, we need to once again be at the library's homepage. The URL is listed at the top of the screen here. Now, once we arrive at the library's homepage, we can then proceed into the databases section, and then we can indicate that we want to look at the history databases, and then scroll down to where we can find this particular database. And once again, you'll be able to see the great number of databases that you have available to you for doing research on your various history topics. And with this particular database, we are certainly concerned about issues within the Middle East and from the 1971 year to the 1981 year. Okay, so there is just that decade window in terms of coverage for this particular topic with respect to the documents that are going to be available within it. Okay, so we're getting there. Foreign Office Files for the Middle East. We'll be able to just click into this, which we'll do momentarily, and then you'll be able to get into this database on campus as well as off campus. And you should read the summary of this particular database because it will make clear to you what is actually available within this particular database. This is going to be really a treasure trove of information on the topics dealing with the Middle East from this particular period. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Foreign Office Files for the Middle East. So now we are in the Foreign Office Files for the Middle East, 1971 to 1981. Now, if you didn't read the summary for this particular database, you have to recognize and understand that this is information from the Foreign Office from the United Kingdom. Okay, so these are documents and materials that have been gathered by the National Archives of the United Kingdom. And the Foreign Office is the equivalent of the United States Department of State. So they deal with foreign affairs issues for the United Kingdom. Okay, so keep that in mind when searching this particular database. Now, of course, the United Kingdom has played a huge role in the issues of the Middle East, just like the United States has. So you are going to be getting a British perspective with respect to this topic or the topics on the Middle East in this particular database. And that's an excellent opportunity to obviously grow your understanding of the particular region with respect to the issues that you might be researching and working on for your history classes. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start by searching within this particular database. And you can do that by searching this particular search box or search window that is exclusively for searching within this particular collection. And the reason why you need to search this box exclusively is because the library has other databases by this provider or from this provider. And if you search their complete portal box, you'll be searching all of those other databases. And we don't want to do that. We just want to search through this limited collection, which is rather extensive, but it does just cover the years that are listed here. So we can search within this particular database like we can any of the other databases. We can use people, places, things in terms of the kinds of terms that we can use when searching within this particular tool. And in this particular instance, I'm going to use a person's name, Yasser Arafat in this particular case, because obviously he is a big deal with respect to this time period. Okay, so we can then just go ahead and click on Go, and we're off and searching this particular database now. And we get back 837 documents that have Yasser Arafat mentioned somewhere within the particular documents. Now, I would recommend obviously refining this search somewhat, but of course, I would also recommend playing around with this particular tool at first just to see how it works. So if you want, you can go ahead and click on any of the links into the particular materials just to see how this particular tool and database is set up. So if we click on this link here, we'll go into the materials for this particular item, and then we'll be able to link into the documents where we'll be able to see exactly where our terms are being used. And the reason why we'll be able to quickly zero in on where the terms are being used is because this particular database highlights where those terms are being used. So we'll quickly be able to see the context of where either the phrase Yasser Arafat or just Arafat is being used on its own, and see the context for it. So we'll be able to quickly determine, if this is material that we can use for whatever the topic is that we're looking into. Okay, so you'll be able to see high resolution image of this particular document, so you'll be able to really clearly see everything that is on the page. Okay, and then if you want this particular document, you just click where it says download image. So if you click on image there, it'll download to your download section, and then you'll be able to bring that up in your Adobe Reader, and you can then further just click where it says download and save this to your hard drive if you want to, or save this to whatever device you are wanting to save it to. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward and pretty simple with respect to being able to pull up the documents and then being able to actually download them and then save them. Okay, so if we go back now, what do we want to do maybe to try to refine this a little bit? Well, of course, we can use the refine your search window and add in additional terms. Obviously, the term or the phrase Yasser Arafat is going to bring back a lot of material. And you now need to begin to sort of try to determine, well, how do we want to deal with Yasser Arafat? How do we want to maybe look at him or discuss this particular individual? Okay, so we can add in terms like maybe peace or negotiations, whatever it is maybe we want to more closely look at with respect to this individual. All right, so let's plug in the term peace and see what happens. And we do reduce it a little bit, but we're not, maybe reducing it as much as we want. So again, we can just simply continue trying to, revise this search until we get it down to maybe a more manageable list. But again, along the way, feel free to, of course, look at the various documents that are in front of you. This has been a quick start guide to using Foreign Office files for the Middle East, 1971 to 1981 at the Mardigian Library at the University of Michigan Dearborn. Again, if you have any questions at all about this quick start guide or to utilizing this particular database, please feel free to contact me at my contact information that is listed on the screen. So I hope this quick start guide was useful, and thank you for viewing.